What kind of plates do they use in space? Flying saucers. Hey, shh. Welcome back to Not Another Needless Sequel, where we watch movies and propose unnecessary prequels, sequels, reboots, and remakes. My name is Kane. Today I have with me Kelsey.
Are you ready to shake our boob things?
This week we saw that Boov is Best in 2015's Home. So what do you think the story was?
Boov are an alien species who keep having to relocate planets because all of the Boov believe they're being chased down by another alien species called the Gorg, who are planet destroyers. Or so we think, and they make it to Earth.
Yeah, so the movie starts off with the move-in day because they are moving planets, like you said, and you see that they're relocating all the humans so that they can move into all their shit on Earth. And they're moving them to a place called Happy Humans Town. It had like a Ferris wheel and shit, and I know it's like fucked up, but I was like, don't threaten me with, this is where I live now, here's food, like, you don't gotta do shit.
I mean, I also think that it's pretty messed up that they're relocating humans to camps.
Ooh, well, when you start using the word camp...
Yeah, that's exactly what they were doing.
I thought it was funny that they were like, well, we're not going to live in Australia, so we'll put all of them in Australia. So this movie is based on the book The True Meaning of Smek Day, and also in this book, the main Boov character that we're going to be following in the movie, his name is O. In the book, the character's name is J-Lo. Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
Okay.
Everyone should have seen my face. We should do video sometime. Just kidding. We'll never do video, but...
So this character, O, you can see he's not liked. And he's
a little weird and off. He's not your typical Boov.
Yeah, seems a bit different than the rest of them. None of them want to have friends or family. They're just like, that's not a thing. And he does. When they get there, he tries to have a housewarming party and nobody comes. And he's like sad about it. And eventually this leads to him trying to share an Evite with a guy that he assumes is his friend. And he accidentally sends this Evite to the entire galaxy, and that includes the Gorg, which is the species that they're running from. So they're in a panic now that the Gorg are going to come to their new hiding place, and they're all pissed off at O, and so they are chasing him, and he's running away. He ends up bumping into a character named Tip, which is the only human that seems to be left in the area.
Something that's important to mention is that all of the Boov just believe Captain Smek, who's like the leader of all the Boov, because he has this rock on a stick that he, quote, won from the Gorg, but that's what the Gorg is after.
Yes. So when he runs into Tip and Pig, they have like an exchange in the gas station, and she was driving a car that she crashed into the gas station because she's also like running from the Boov, and he fixes the car for her in exchange for him being able to go with her because she is trying to find her mother, who got taken, and he is trying to hide. He keeps that under wraps and claims he's going to take her to her mother, but he turns the car into like a flying machine with parts from inside the gas station, so they call it the Slushiest. Part of the trivia that I saw, and I'm mostly bringing this up to point out sometimes, some of the trivia I find is so dumb. When the internal machinery of the flying car is shown, the cash register reads 5316008. The classic school kid calculator joke. When read upside down, it reads boogies. Did you ever type that on a calculator and be like, look, it says boogies?
No, I did not.
The classic calculator joke is boob.
Correct. 8008.
Yes, nobody is typing boogies. You can even type
in
boobies. Yeah.
Yeah, boobies. So... get it together.
Nonsense.
All right.
Well, stupid. So, in order to find her mother, they have to go to Paris, which is where the Boov headquarters is, and there's going to be a computer there that is going to tell them, where her mom is. Meanwhile, the Boov, because they can't seem to catch O, they're trying to unsend his email by logging into his email account, but he's the only Boov that ever changed his password, and so they can't do it. So... mostly I'm bringing this part up just to bring up my favorite part of the movie. They're asking the big brain Boov, who are like the smartest Boov, what to do, and one of them is like, we just play dead when the Gorg arrive, and they just fall over and they just lay in there dead.
Yeah.
And they're doing that throughout the whole movie, just laying there.
Yeah.
But anyway, their plan becomes that they're just going to enter in every password until they figure it out. So anyway, once they finally get to Paris, they are going to enter into this computer room to find out the information about her mom. But they also decide that they're going to enter the password and, like, unsend the email. First things first is they go to disguise O, and I was like, why the fuck did they bother disguising him? Because they just walk in and nobody sees them to begin with. And they just walk in with Tip, who's a human, who shouldn't be there. So what is the point of disguising O? Anyway, also,
there was no point.
There's like the computer works by like plugging into their brain. And they plugged it into Tip's brain too for no reason.
Yeah.
Like, she's just standing there, and, like, it was just, I don't know.
Yeah, a lot of things about this movie don't make sense, and that one included.
So, he ends up entering the password and unsending the email, which ultimately doesn't matter, but we'll get to that. They figure out that her mom's in Australia. So they start heading to Australia, and the Gorg, even though they didn't get the email, they're tracking the rock thing. And so they are coming to Earth anyway, and the Boov are running away. As Tip and O are on their way to Australia, they see all the Boov are running because they're just going to leave Earth behind. So once they get to Australia and they find out that the Gorg are coming anyway, O tries to force Tip to come with him anyway.
Yeah, he does like inconsiderate things quite a bit.
Yeah. And she doesn't want to. She wants to find her mom. And so he ends up leaving. And she can't find her mom because, you know, she got dropped. Yeah, she's in a huge area.
She finds her mom and they hug.
Yeah. So O, meanwhile, is back with the Boov, and
he talks to Captain Smek about the stone and how he actually stole it, and then becomes the captain of the ship.
Because they realize Captain Smek actually sucks, and he stole this rock from the Gorg. Eventually, O is back on the planet with Tip. They, like, reunite and have, like, a moment. And the Gorg arrive, and they're gonna destroy the planet. Which, to me, I was like, you guys just show up and destroy every planet that you track this thing to? Like, what if you destroy it?
That's very Galactus of them.
Yeah. And, you know...
Because then how are they gonna get the rock? It makes no sense.
Anyway, the Gorg end up landing because he's raising the rock in the air, and it gets pointed out to them, and they land to come get the rock from him. Turns out this rock is not just a rock, it's an egg, and inside the egg is the entire Gorg species. They thought they were being chased by, like, the Gorg, but it's one single Gorg that's left.
And the Gorg are starfish.
Yeah, which they looked a lot cuter once they came out of their suits.
I thought he was kind of cute to begin with, so whatever.
Okay, so the Gorg's happy, and then the Boov live happily ever after on the moon, party on Earth sometimes, like, it all works out. So Jim Parsons voices O, and, you know, he's known for The Big Bang Theory, and so he's kind of doing that same character almost. Apparently, while promoting the film, he would sing Rihanna's songs to annoy her, and, like, I can imagine that would be super annoying. This was also the last movie to be made at DreamWorks in Redwood City, California. The closure of that studio was announced well into the production of Home, causing a significant dip in morale, which I thought was kind of fucked up.
That is sad.
And... then, of course, Rihanna voices Tip in this movie, which I thought was interesting considering her trajectory of her career being so massive, even working alongside Donald Glover.
Don't go there.
And, you know, Donald Glover, of course, was the inspiration for Miles Morales and his TV show Community by wearing those Spider-Man pajamas, and Brian Michael Bendis saw that, and it really inspired him. And then, of course, he voiced Miles Morales. He also played his uncle, very connected to Spider-Man.
Rihanna also did that movie, Guava Island, with Donald Glover.
Yeah, like I said, they've worked together.
Yeah.
That was the point. I gave this movie a 2 out of 5.
I gave it a 2.5.
I thought it was really bad. Like, a lot of the part... And to be fair, this is a kids movie. It's not for us, but we do kids movies sometimes, and I feel like...
we watch kids movies outside of the podcast. I feel like we go into everything with a very open mind. I think this is one of the worst kid movies we've seen.
Yeah, I just did not like it, and... I think there was a lot of shit in it that didn't matter or belong.
Correct. I think that the plot wasn't fully fleshed out, it almost feels.
And so the book is a little different, but honestly, when I read the description of the book, I was like, well, that doesn't sound much better. I don't know, like... But yeah, they had to make it into a movie, and so some stuff is just padded out, and some stuff doesn't matter, and I just didn't like it. Like...
or then they give little explanation for other things that you feel like needed an explanation.
Yeah.
I don't know. I agree. It wasn't my favorite movie either. It wasn't like it was awful. I thought it was a cute movie, but I feel like it wouldn't necessarily even hold the attention of kids either.
I mean, it had moments, I guess, but I feel like even during the emotional moments, they all felt so unearned to me.
Correct.
That, like, I was just like that Homelander meme of him just sitting there. Like, whenever...
Not doing anything, just straight faced.
Yeah, whenever the moments were happening, I was just like, I don't care about this. Like, I don't feel any... Like, when O was gonna die because he was gonna get crushed by the ship and Tip was all sad, I was just like, you didn't really like him
I
the
know
whole
you guys
time.
have argued the entire way, except you bonded over some music.
Yeah, and that bonding moment was just it. They were family for them.
Yeah.
And I was like, that doesn't make sense. You hated him. I'll just end it there. We'll just move on. So a big part of this movie is that O is seeing the customs of humans and, like, I mean, all of the Boov are. And there's even, like, you know, jokes where she's like, it's a custom that I punch you in the nose or something like that. So it made me think of weird customs from around the world that would seem weird to you. So I have some customs I'm going to tell you about.
Okay.
And I want to know, like, how weird you think it is and would you ever participate in something like that?
Okay.
So, first one is La Tomatina, a Spanish festival in Buñol, Spain, where participants throw tomatoes at each other. It is said to be the biggest food fight in the world.
I mean, would I participate? Yes. 50-50 on that one.
I feel that it doesn't seem that weird when it's just a festival. If it was something that was just like a regular, like, hey, every Friday we come out here and throw tomatoes at each other.
I agree.
But I would do it, I guess. Okay. Cooper Hill Cheese Rolling. It's an annual event held on the spring bank holiday at Cooper's Hill in England. Participants race down the 200-yard long hill chasing a wheel of double Gloucester cheese.
Hell yeah.
Have you seen this thing?
No, but hell
Allow me to take a moment of silence that I'll have to cut out of the podcast to show you this real quick. People are out here getting fucking destroyed, breaking their bodies.
Where's the cheese?
Right there.
Oh, that looks like a crusty ass cheese, but
it's
hell
actually,
yeah.
I think in modern times, it actually isn't even cheese anymore. They like throw like something lighter.
At least they're not being wasteful. Look at that dude just
Yes.
bouncing.
This is why I would not participate. People gotta be breaking ankles out here.
It'd be fun to do once when we're young and stupid.
Okay, so anyway, it's pretty weird. It used to be that whoever got the cheese got to keep it and eat it, but also it rolled down a hill.
Wasn't dirt cheese? What if it's like Gouda and it's in an encasing?
It's double Gloucester cheese, so I don't know.
I don't know what that cheese is.
Some stinky ass cheese. I
It
bet.
looked stinky based on the picture.
Anyway.
If it was a good cheese, sure.
I don't know about this one. It's not for me. Okay, the blackening. It's a
Ooh.
traditional wedding custom performed in the days or weeks prior to marriages in rural areas of Scotland and Northern Ireland. The bride and groom are captured by friends and family, covered in food or a variety of other preferably adhesive substances, then paraded publicly for the community to see. Frequently, the couple are driven in the back of an open-back truck accompanied by the clattering and banging of pots and pans by the couple's captors.
Listen, that doesn't sound like fun, but also if it's a tradition where you know that you're not actually being kidnapped and like you know the day that all of this is gonna happen, like why the hell not? It's better than some wedding traditions we have here.
It sounds like shit to me. We're gonna throw hands if you're gonna try and cover me and stuff. And I didn't put it in here because I'm not sure, but some of the stuff I read said they'll cover you in like rotten fish.
Oh, that's disgusting. We will be throwing hands.
Okay. Tossing teeth. Children throw their lost baby teeth onto the roof of their house as part of a unique tradition when they lose a tooth. Children make a wish for strong adult teeth while throwing their tooth, which is believed to bring good luck. The idea is that the new tooth will grow as strong as the house itself.
Listen, I hope the house isn't in shambles. But I feel like this doesn't harm anybody, and if somebody wants to do that, great.
I guess you're right, but imagine if you were driving through a neighborhood and all around there was just several teeth on the roof.
Well, you know, where you grew up, yeah, there'd be thousands. Where I grew up, probably not so much, but I just feel like I personally probably wouldn't do it, but I don't see the harm in anything.
I wonder, does it just stay up there? Do they sweep it off the next morning?
The Tooth Fairy gets it.
Okay. Christmas log. A character in Catalan mythology. In the days preceding Christmas, children must take good care of the log, keeping it warm and feeding it so that it will defecate presents on Christmas Day or Eve.
Like a tree log?
I've seen it. It's a little log that they put up on a stand that has a little face on it, and they just take care of it, and then it defecates Christmas presents.
That's absolutely horrific. When you said Christmas log, I thought it was going to be something nice and happy. Absolutely not.
It is nice.
No.
There's no real...
No, this is disgusting. No.
I feel
No.
that this is no worse than Elf on a Shelf.
Well, that's stupid, too. Elf on a Shelf is dumb and creepy.
I would do it, I guess.
No.
I'd actually laugh my ass off at watching a kid keep a log warm.
I mean, I would too, but then I wouldn't allow the log to defecate presents. They'd get nothing.
Okay. Anyway, there was a sequel to the book, but there's been no sequel to this movie. So, what's your sequel?
Home 2. Electric Boogaloo.
Seems right.
Home 2. It's a direct sequel. So some time has passed since O and the other Boov have settled on Earth and have been adapting nicely, but Captain Smek and a group of other Boov do not like the humans and want to get rid of them, like they previously tried to do. They come up with a plan to kidnap and get rid of O and start the takeover and invasion. All of this obviously happens on the moon, because...
Yeah.
One of the other Boov come to O and convince him to go with him, just thinking it's like another, drive and happy day. And they drive him to a place and are going to kill him. Some of his own Boov have flipped to Captain Smek's side, and they leave him in this place for dead and head back. But he's not actually dead. It's a little more dark.
Okay.
It'd be like in a happy way.
Yeah.
Okay.
Totally.
Captain Smek reclaimed control of all of the Boov and is going to start to enact his new plan in getting rid of humans. Tip feels something is suspicious and goes out to look for O when she runs into and overhears Captain Smek his plan and how they think they got rid of O. She quickly goes to the location and finds that he is alive, and they start the long journey back. They face many trials and tribulations along the way, but ultimately reach Smek at the height of his plan. He's already started to move some of the humans and take over. O and Tip save the Boov again and subdue Captain Smek for the last time. Party at O's house. The end.
I could see that. It sounds like, what I said there wasn't a sequel. There actually is like a Netflix animated show. Because I was about to say, it sounds like that could be like a show.
Yeah.
When they sometimes make shows.
I thought about doing a show, and then I remember doing Lilo and Stitch recently. No, not Lilo and Stitch. Which one did I say should be like a show? Despicable Me. And I was like, I just recently did that for the last kids movie, so I didn't want to do it again. Plus, I just don't know how much I'd want to actually watch a show. Let's just get this direct sequel, Netflix, out of the way.
Yeah. Well, I did a remake of the movie because I didn't like it, and I think things need to be changed.
Okay, well, let's hear what they need to be changed.
Okay. So O is the right hand and best friend of the captain, and we're not calling him Captain Smek. That sounds dumb. He's just going to be the captain. One day, he's blamed for stealing from the Gorg and causing a feud between the two species. Not the captain. O is blamed. Mm-hmm. O did not steal anything and therefore can't even return anything to make it right, and he is exiled and run off by the Boov as they try and give him in to the Gorg, and he's forced to find a new home. Meanwhile, every planet he goes to, the Gorg and the Boov chase him, and he is unwelcome by the planet's inhabitants. So you see, my change one is that he's sent away, basically, and the Gorg and the Boov are working together to get him.
Okay.
Finally, O finds Earth, but this time arrives and lives there in secret to prevent the Gorg and the Boov from chasing him off again. O meets Rihanna Tucci. No relation to Rihanna, but I'm not calling her Tip. That was such a dumb... She was like, my name's Gratuity.
Gratuity is a horrible name, too.
Yeah, who the fuck would name their kid Gratuity?
Listen, I've seen some of the names.
That
I've
people
seen
name,
some names, and boy, are they bad.
I guess you're right. Okay, well, yeah, I'm just gonna call her Rihanna Tucci. So Boov meets Rihanna Tucci, a girl who just moved to town into an orphanage after her parents passed away.
That's right, get rid of J-Lo. Like Mike, this bitch.
We didn't talk about it, but J-Lo plays her mother, but she has like 2 lines. So, she just moved into an orphanage after her parents passed away. Rihanna has been feeling alone and having a hard time fitting in, and has a lot of emotions about losing her parents and her home. Rihanna accidentally discovers O one day as he is searching for food, and after the initial shock, she's amazed by the alien and befriends him. Things seem well as Rihanna keeps O hidden, and they are getting along great. O, however, has kept some of his story to himself and just tells Rihanna he is homesick. Rihanna feels bad and designs a way to communicate with the Boov based on the movie E.T. Remember they get like that thing for him to phone home. Anyway, Rihanna tests her invention, and when it works, she rushes to tell O. Unfortunately, O panics and reveals that Rihanna has given away his position to the 2 species that want to kill him, and he plans to run away again. Rihanna protests as O is her only friend and is starting to make her feel like this new town could be her home and she could be happy once more. Rihanna gets the whole story from O and comes up with a plan to stop the Boov and Gorg. O and Rihanna set up Home Alone style traps all around the town for the incoming invasion, leading to chaos and laughs. Eventually, the two are cornered by the Boov captain and the Gorg leader. When all seems lost, the Boov captain drops an artifact revealing it was him that had stolen from the Gorg and betrayed his friend. The Gorg leader takes the captain into custody and apologizes to Rihanna and O, leaving O as the new captain of the Boov. Having regained his original home, he takes Rihanna into space with him, and they live as best friends and the leaders of the Boov.
Nice. I like that.
I feel that got rid of most of the fucking nonsense from this movie.
Yeah,
Also,
I think so too.
I'm not sure Jim Parsons can voice O. I just can't.
Yeah, who should?
I don't know. Someone.
Jake Johnson.
Yeah. I like that. Just a random. Okay.
The Boov captain's very Robert Baratheon.
Definitely. That's what we're going for. All right. Well, thank you so much for listening. We do so appreciate it. If you want to talk movies with us, you can find us on TikTok, Instagram, Letterboxd, Threads, and Twitter. We are NansPod everywhere.
NansPod?
If you'd like to vote on whose sequel idea was the best, come by our YouTube channel for the polls, or let us know your idea across our socials with a comment, tweet, or you can reach us at needlesssequel@gmail.com. Links, as always, will be wherever you're listening. If you wouldn't mind, share a show with someone, leave us a review, and come back for more. We would love to have you and hear what we can do to improve. Next week, we're watching Joker in preparation for Joker Folie à Deux. So, a movie that we'll probably like more. I won't talk so much shit on. But also, I haven't seen Joker in a long time. Maybe I'll go back and watch it and be like...
That's impossible. Such a good movie.
All right, take care of yourselves. We'll see you next week. And remember, today is best day ever.
Bye!